Okay. So I haven't been on here for a little while, and so I been thinking about my decision to quit this channel and all that shit with uh, with what happened with the YouTube partner program and all that shit. When I got really pissed and made a couple of streams where I was just really pissed and you know was kind of erratic in a way. Um, I want to apologize for that. Um, so I do want to move forward here because the thing is that I kind of realized that the other place I was going to go, the other place I was going to go to do videos, isn't much better. So I'm going to stay here. I'm going to keep going. Um, I'll probably um, do things a little bit differently. Um, I'm just talking about my stream a couple of like a while ago where I was like pissed about the YouTube partner program and I was like ranting about all that shit and um, how I'm gonna keep going here. I'm gonna keep going on this channel and keep doing stuff here because I realize that any other place I could possibly go sucks as as much, but it possibly different ways. But it also kind of sucks anyway. So I'm just gonna kind of deal with that and sort of change the way I do things here. And with philosophical things, I probably will still do those things. I will do them in a different format rather than from readings from books. Rather than I will probably do a more scripted discussion of my own, putting in my own words to help people understand better rather than reading from the direct text. So I'll probably do that. I'll probably do more streams like this where you and I can talk because I've kind of been doing that for the past month and a half or so, and I found that that is a good thing. Where, and I think since my antinatalist video, I have had more people kind of tune in to these things, and I think I could probably do pretty well with that. I think I could probably start doing a little bit better with the streams and just kind of doing like general discussions about things, and I feel like I could do pretty well with that because I have had a couple of streams where I'm just talking to somebody and we're talking about things. It's kind of fun, where we're just talking about random shit. Not a bad thing. It's kind of a fun thing, really. Yeah, I feel like I've adjusted my channel in a few, like maybe 3 or 4 times in this month. It's only like the 22nd, I think, is what it is. So we're always having to do that in order to do better, I guess. Hi, how you doing? Um, so I'm I want to do more streams. I want to come up with some sort of a schedule. I'm not very good at that kind of thing because my schedule of my own life does kind of move around a little bit. Um, my 2 days off that I get every week do kind of change. I don't have a set 2 days a week like a lot of people do. They do change a lot based on a lot of different factors. But so like I said, number one, I'm gonna do more streams like this because talking to all of you is a very useful thing. Talking to you all in real time, and we're talking about things together in real time, I think is a very good thing, and I'm liking it a lot. I'll probably talk about antinatalism a little more because that's something that has been on my mind a lot. Um, I'll talk about a lot of things that basically are just on my mind in general. Um, One thing I want to discuss is in a different stream, probably in the next one, um, about corporations themselves and how they're fucking ruling everything and stuff like that. I want to talk about political things, philosophical things, various kinds of things to where, um, where we're just kind of talking together in real time and we're learning, and we're learning different things. And I want to talk more about Marx. And a lot of different things that I want to do. I want to keep going. So I feel like if I quit, I mean, basically the way I look at it is that we all have to do. We all, I mean, like, let's say you want to be an actor or something. Let's say you want to be something that you have desperately wanted to be, and it turns out that you really can't be that. Adam Curtis documentaries. No, I have not. What does he do? What does he do documentaries about? But let's say you have something that you want to do so bad, and then you can't do it. So you have to stick with doing a job that you don't. Critic of capitalism. Oh my gosh, I have to look him up because I do enjoy that. So I don't like capitalism. Capitalism in a moderated form, yeah, that's great. But capitalism is the way it is today. Is like kind of it is. It sounds like shit if he's critiquing the way things actually are. People who say meaningful things, people who call things as they are. I love that. Oh, thank you for the follow on Twitter. I like it when the reason I like Emendum. People have said to me he's not a good person to look up to. The reason I like him is because he calls shit as it is. He doesn't beat around the bush. He calls things as they are, and talks about them as they are. You know, and I like that. I like people who I like it. I like to talk about things that are real and call things as they are. You know, call shit as I see it. You know. But let's say you can't be that one thing that you really wanted to be. So you have to go do some menial job, kind of like I've done. Like I wanted to be I wanted to get a PhD in philosophy. Turns out I couldn't do that, so I kept going with my with my with my job as working in a grocery store. And I've kind of moved up in that, and that's fine. I'm making enough money to live off of, with that. But it's not what I'm passionate about. It's not what I want to do wanted to do with my life. So the reason I don't want to quit is because if I did quit this, I mean, I don't really know. Like, what I'm trying to say is that this gives a little more purpose to my life. It gives me more purpose to talk about real things and talk about things on here. And I mean, I feel like I have more purpose on this channel than I do in my real job. And that's kind of what we all have to do. And I mean, some of us, there are a select few of us who do get to do that. Yeah, it is kind of pointless. Like, I mean, the whole thing I wanted to do is I wanted to go and teach philosophy and write papers and books and stuff like that because, you know, there's you know, that's something that I've really always wanted to do. Yeah, I'm sure that there's a lot of debt in that because not everyone gets fellowships and scholarships and all that stuff to do that. So, I mean, yeah, that was what my dream was to be, you know, a doctor in philosophy and teach and write, and that was kind of my dream. And in 2015, I gave that up, so because it was necessary, you know. But even though we have to give those things up, because most of us do have to give those things up and be an accountant, there are probably some accountants who love that job, but there are some people who have to be an accountant, have to be a manager in a grocery store. Yeah, that's probably. I mean, going to law school is probably safer, I'm sure. I mean, there's probably, you know, that's probably a good way to go. I kind of thought about doing that for a while, but I wanted to keep, you know, I wanted to think about what my real thing was. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like we might be coming towards that. Coming towards a depression. So any job that we have, you know, I think we have to be thankful for any kind of money that we get. So, you know, we have to give up those things that we dreamed of being. And I think that the whole what they tell you when you're in school, you can be anything that you aspire to be, anything that you want to be. I think that's kind of a load of shit. Because not everyone can be an astronaut or I think being a firefighter is something that people want to be, that is a little easier to do if you pass the physical and the tests like that. My mom is actually a firefighter, so I know a little bit about that, but which I never really wanted to be myself. But a lot of us have to do that. You know, we have to give up on those things and move on. Um, but this channel is kind of gives a little more purpose to myself. Oh, I'm drinking some Samuel Adams. This is just their Keller beer. Bought a 12-pack for review, so I'm trying to finish it up. It's not bad. It's not great either. I just got home from work, so I'm just kind of I was watching videos on YouTube and drinking and smoking. So yeah, it's snowy as fuck today. So I probably at the grocery store that I worked at. I probably helped 10 people in a 7 to 8 hour period. So yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, to achieve your passion, you have to be prepared. You have to be prepared to do those things. You have to be extraordinary at what you're doing, and not everyone, is at that point, and I wasn't. I mean, then even if I did get to that, even if I did get to go to graduate school, I probably would have ended up in more debt than I am. So, and not have ended up with a great job. But that's kind of just the way things are. I mean, I feel like it's kind of like, I mean, this world is nothing like the book 1984 by Orwell, but it's kind of like that. You're going to have a job that's sort of is what you do, even though you don't really want to do it, but you have to. But kind of my thought on capitalism versus communism. Capitalism is something that when it's in extremes. Yeah, Brave New World is probably what I was thinking about. Yeah, I've read a lot of books. I mixed the two up. Brave New World by Huxley is a great book too. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess what I'm trying to say is that between communism and capitalism, there's been both of the extremes, but you never have had really I mean, there probably is in like Europe or something, but even still, there's companies who amass millions and billions of dollars, and there's no real way to check that. I think there should be a way to, I guess, have a check to, I guess, limit how much money a company can make. I mean, I don't like the fact that Disney owns like fucking everything now, or they probably will come to own fucking everything, and then we'll one day end up being a place where, I mean, that doesn't really have to do with Disney, but I feel like one day we'll be in a place. I've been playing a lot of Fallout 4 on my PC, and that's a great game. But I feel like one day we might actually come to a point where that's how the world is. Probably not in my lifetime, but I think that's possibly where we'll go, because I don't know. I'm talking out of my ass here. So. But I feel like Marx makes a lot of great points when it comes to how fucked up capitalism is and has been since the Industrial Revolution. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Marx even says that the proletarian, it will take forever for him to actually win, even though he will revolt a ton of times, but he won't actually win for a very, very, very long time. It says it takes unions and a mass, because the more each time the proletarian revolts, it's gonna amass more people, and it'll take a long time for them to actually win. But then when that does happen, they will be in the position that the bourgeoisie is in. They It's like Paulo Freire all over again. It's gonna, the oppressed become the oppressors, if you will. And I'm thankful for the company that I work for. Things aren't as bad as they are in others. It's in a state where, yeah, definitely. Communism is just another extreme of the economical spectrum, and I feel like we have kind of mostly had two of the extremes, and I feel like one day, this current extreme of capitalism that we have here is going to fall too. I don't know when, but it will, because constantly we're like Eminem says, the rich will get richer and the poor will get poorer. And soon people aren't going to take that shit anymore, where they constantly work for everything and lose everything, where all the money that they make for a certain company goes to the people who own it, and not to the people who do the actual production. He also says that the people who have all the money and own everything didn't do a damn thing to earn it. They inherited it. So I don't know. I'm kind of talking out of my ass here. I don't know if I probably will stop this stream just because I'll probably come back in another stream possibly tonight where I have a more confined thing of what I wanted to say. But mainly, I just wanted to say that I'm not gonna quit here. It's easier to imagine the end of the world than to imagine the end of capitalism. Yeah, that's very true, because capitalism is an endless cycle that makes it harder and harder to definitely lose. For them to lose, it's a very hard thing to actually make plausible. It's a hard thing to actually make happen. And I don't think that in my lifetime that will really happen. I don't know if I ever get enough money, I'll probably move to someplace like Sweden, where things aren't as bad. We have that problem in the European nations too, but yeah, I think that's the whole race, whole thing of race that does fuel it. That's another thing to think that I think I'm kind of like spacing out. I can't really make a real coherent point right now. Yeah. Yeah. So my main point on this stream is I just wanted to say that I'm not gonna quit here. I'm not gonna stop. Because I don't really think I can afford to stop. Just because of who I am, and it's kind of the fact that, I have a brain. I'm gonna refer to a certain Office quote. I don't know if any of you watched The Office, but Oscar once said that Oscar in The Office said that he wanted to be an actor, and then he realized he had a brain. I too have a brain, and I don't want to be in a place where I'm just working at this place where I just work and do that for money, even though I'm thankful for that. And even though I didn't get to have the job, which is basically using my brain for my job, I still do have a brain, and I feel like that doing things here can, I guess, help me use that brain more than I would have otherwise, and it also gives me purpose. So I don't know. Let me Let me know anything that you want to say, and I'll probably be back with another stream tonight.